Hey there, and welcome back to part 2 of our UI builder. So today we will learn some more fields and how to jump from one UI to another. So in this view you can see you can enter your name and we have some more fields. So you can jump to the high score and see the high score in a list view. And you can also jump back to the settings and see some settings. We will design them later. So first, let's see how we can display the high score in a list view. So I made a class high score with a player name and a score and just added some sample data. So to display the high score, I made a high score helper class. Here I query the high score list view and our back button. And of course we need a public method to show the high score. Here we have to do 3 things. First, make the items of the high score list. Then bind the items and attach the item source to the list. So to make the items, we create a local function makeItem. This will return a group box. The group box will have the class highscoreGroup and 2 labels. One label with the class highscoreLabel and one with the class highscoreScore. To bind the items to this group box and labels, we create a local action bindItem. Here we have the importing parameter element and the position. We can cast this element as our group box. And the first element will be the label or the player name, and the second one will be the score. So we can bind the items from our item source to our labels. To see the result, you have to go to the play mode. And then it's a bit try and error for your classes and your design. But I will show you a little trick later. So let's have a look at the settings screen. Here I created a new UXML file with a toggle, mute audio, and a slider volume. As you can see, the slider is not scaling up with our text, and there is not really an option to scale the slider. And also, the child elements on the left are not clickable. So let me just load another asset file. With this, you can see it is possible to scale and to change the slider and the toggle. As you can see in the hierarchy, the tracker and the dragger, they both have a unique ID. So we can add this ID to our assets on the top. And with this, we can override the Unity standard variables. But there is one small issue with that. Let me show you this in the play mode. If we go to our settings screen, the slider and the toggle will appear blue, yellow and red as we adjust them. But if we now go to the high score screen, the scroll bar on the right and on the bottom will also appear blue and yellow. So this is because in our high score screen or in our scroll view, the scroll bar have the same identifier as the slider. So this could be an effect you want to have, but there is also a way around it. So to catch the specific element, we have to change the selector in our asset. So here we go from the element with the ID volume to the element with the class Unity slider input, then to an element with an ID Unity drag container, and then Unity tracker. So with this, the high score will stay in default and our volume slider will appear in blue and yellow. So let's have a look how we get the value from the toggle and the slider. First, we have to queue the elements as all other elements. And then for both values, we have to register a value change callback. For the toggle, the callback will import a bool. And for the slider, it will import a float value. So sometimes something gets messed up in your screen and you don't know why. And for this you want to inspect the screen. So to do that you go to your screen and then go to the 3 dots and select the UI Toolkit debugger. The debugger will connect to the current screen. From here you can pick an element. That's sometimes not really working. So you go down the hierarchy and here you will also see your created elements, and when you click on them, you can inspect the values and even change the values. So this really works as the normal inspector. Just change the values. And if you exit the play mode, the values are gone. Some values are hidden, but you can get to them with the Show All button. So, I hope you learned something new today. Subscribe to watch more tutorials and I'm sure I see you in the next.